Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new Tech Reviews and Gadgets episode. With today, we're taking a look at a smart Wi-Fi digital projector with 4K support and Android 11. And you guys are currently watching CrewElite. Today's episode, we're taking a look at a smart Wi-Fi 5G Bluetooth digital projector from the company XGODY. And this is actually the Sail 1 or S1 projector, and this projector has built-in Android 11, which is really neat. If you know anything about an integrated operating system built into your projector, essentially what that means is you have the ability to download applications. And in this projector's case, it has a built-in integrated Google, TV stick that they have actually incorporated inside of this projector. And with that, you can go on YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, all these different streaming platforms, Disney Plus. And you can install a wide magnitude of different applications, including games. As always, product information, specifications, and details will be listed down below in the video description, alongside with the link to make a purchase if you're interested in buying this digital projector. But right now, what we're going to do is actually move over to the first look and unboxing portion of this video. Here is the packaging of the XGODY Sail 1 digital projector, and all over the box there's a few specifications and details. But now let's get cracking inside the box and lift off this sheet of styrofoam. We are instantly greeted with the quick start guide, and this goes into greater details on how to set up this projector and also some troubleshooting tips that you can use. We also get included with an AC power cable, an HDMI cable, an AV cable, and we also get included with a remote control for navigating the projector. But now let's shift our main focus and attention onto the main highlight of this video, and that is the projector itself. You can see the projector has a very nice but very subtle design. I like the overall appearance and the overall simplistic colors that they went with. We have a lot of different ports and connectivity options, and overall I just like the overall build and construction of this projector. Here is everything that's included with the packaging. Overall, the unboxing experience with this projector was fairly simple. I like how everything was nicely laid out, and I like how they also included some additional things that you may or may not use with your setup. Like for instance, this HDMI cable. But obviously with HDMI, a lot of consoles, a lot of devices, including laptops, support it. Then we also have this AV cable. I don't know how many people still use this cable, but it's still nice to see an AV cable included with this projector. We have all different navigation buttons on the top of the projector itself, but you can also utilize this remote that they supplied. And on the front side of the projector, you can see we have our lens right here, our lens cover, which you can easily remove, which is really neat. And then we also have our infrared sensor right there. So when you point the remote to this projector, it will actually register whatever you're clicking. And then on this side, we have our focus adjustment. So you can see I can adjust the focus. We also have our venting and heating ventilation. We have a compartment down here, which you can actually open up. And you can see you can pull out the filter to clean it out, which is really neat. And you can slide it back in. On the back side, we have our power adapter port. And we also have our speaker. And then in this compartment, this is where we actually got our integrated TV box. So if I pop this open and open this up, you can see right here we actually have the TV stick itself. So the cool thing about this projector is they actually have the TV stick or the Android stick already pre-attached, plugged away in a hidden compartment, which is interesting. But I can actually remove this HDMI stick, because essentially it's just an HDMI stick that, technically speaking, I could plug into anything that supports an HDMI output. And then on this side right here, you can see we have all different connectivity options. We have a USB Type A, two HDMI ports, as you can see. We have our AV port, mic port, not mic port, but in 3.5mm audio jack, which is the same port essentially as the AV. And we also have a TF card, which is our SD card. And then right here, you can see we have the bottom of the projector. So you can see there is some screws, so you can actually attach this onto a projector adapter, so you can have it like hanging off of your ceiling and stuff, which is really neat. And then we also have this nice included kickstand, as you can see, which you can actually give your projector lift off the ground without necessarily using an adapter or a tripod. And then with the remote control, you can see a lot of different features on the remote control: power on and off, or different sources, or Google Assistant, settings, or arrows and stuff, or volume up and down, channels, mutes, home, different sources, different, quick, what you can call it, quick like hot buttons you can click on. And what I mean by hot buttons is, if I click on YouTube, for instance, it'll take me directly to YouTube without having to intervene or look it up. And then on the back side, you just open this compartment up and you get exposed to the battery compartment, and you will need 2 AAA batteries with this projector. And once you put your batteries in, you just close up this compartment just like so, and it snaps in place and you're good to go. So what we're gonna do is configure the setup. I am gonna use an extension cable so that I can plug in this projector, and essentially I'm just gonna quickly plug it in, and we're gonna do a quick test to see how loud it is. And then what I'll do is I'll move everything off to the side, and then we will test it on the wall behind me. Plug it into this port right here, and then you plug it into your extension cable, and you can see the projector lit up. You can see all the different navigation features just light up all nicely. And we want to remove the lens cap, so make sure you remove the lens cap just like so, and let's power this on. So right now it's booting up. It's going to take some time, and I do love that kickstand, so I can actually elevate this up even more if I wanted to, and it just kind of depends on the angle you're trying to get with your projector. So right now it's booting up, and I can actually see it boot up on my wall in front of me here, which is really neat. But let's listen to see how loud the fans are. I mean, it's a little bit loud, but I'm hoping once we got some media playing, it kind of drown out some of the fan noise. But overall, it's kind of quiet for the most part. But yeah, not too bad. So let's stop with all these excuses. Let's just get to the main part of the video, which is actually testing out this projector, seeing all the features it has, because I'm actually really intrigued about the Android 11 integration of this projector. Let's power on this projector. I'm going to click on the power button right there, and this projector is going to take some time to boot up here. But let me talk about some of the different specifications it has. So with the built-in Android 11, you have the ability to, install applications on Google Play, or just use, typical applications such as YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and, a bunch of different streaming services. I'm pretty sure Disney Plus is also included. But, with Google Play, you can go in and download various different applications, especially if you're looking for something different that I didn't mention. Like I said, this does support 4K content, but it's a native 1080p projector. So the projector is all booted up now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the keystone a little bit. Actually, this is not the keystone, this is the focus knob. And you can see when I pull back, the view gets a lot more blurry, but when I start focusing the projector, you can see a lot more of the text. With this projector, there's actually 2 different menus or interfaces. You have the interface for your stick, your TV stick that's integrated, and then you also have your interface for all the different devices that you may connect to this projector directly. So let's actually take a look at our settings and take a look at some of the different things you can actually alter with this projector. So you can see here, you can change your picture mode. You want standard, you can change it to all these different modes. Obviously, I'm not going to go in and showcase all of these settings out, but you can see you got color, temperature, aspect ratio, noise reduction, projector placement, HDMI mode if it's PC or a different console device. With the time, you can set up a sleep timer with this projector so that this projector will turn off after a certain period of time. And then here you have OSD language, which is just the operating system language. You can also restore the factory default of this projector. You have your sound mode, so if you wanted to, you can actually change the sound mode, or you can even customize it to your own liking. And then you also have 4D keystone. And with keystone, this is where you kind of, depending on where you set up the projector, you know, you can actually shift the position of the projector without moving the projector. So you can see with horizontal, it kind of shifts the projector to an interesting angle. And this is especially useful if you have this projector in like a corner of a room, but you're not able to actually keep the projector straight onto the wall. You can then use your 4D keystone correction to adjust, you know, the angle. Like you can even do it with the vertical angle. So you can see with now, you know, the vertical angle is kind of shifted down, and I can do the same thing with it going back up. So it's actually pretty neat that they have implemented this, because this gives you a lot more versatility when you use this projector. You can also rotate it, and you can see with rotating it just kind of shifts around, which is kind of cool. And then they also have this auto adjust. So if you wanted to, you know, the system itself will auto adjust to wherever you decide to cast this projector. And then right here, we just have our different sources of media. So we got USB, we have HDMI 1, HDMI 2, AV, and TF, which is just an SD card slot. And since I do have a USB stick that we will be testing out, let's actually plug this into the side of the projector. And we're gonna click on USB. And what I'm gonna do is actually turn off all my lights. And we're gonna take a look at some of these, you know, various test footage and test files that I normally use in all my projector tests, just so we can see the quality of this projector. So let's take a look at some videos to begin with. And let's start off with this one. And look at that. So these are just like template backgrounds that I normally use in my tests. And you can see with this projector, the quality is actually pretty good. You can see the contrast with that previous clip was really nice. And this is just like a, you know, just like a violet waterfall. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a bunch of diamonds just kind of falling down, which is pretty cool. And obviously, if you click OK, you have a bunch of different settings. You know, I can play and pause, I can fast forward, or, you know, rewind the clip. I can go previous or next, I can stop. I can even randomize. You know, I can set playlists, I can take a look at the info, I can zoom in, zoom out. So with this menu, you have the ability, you know, even aspect ratio. And you can also move the view. So you have a lot of different settings you can configure. So like with info, I can see what resolution this is. You know, it's a 1080p. I can even see the file's name. I can see its size. So it's pretty cool. And this is like a fiery background. This is like one of my favorite backgrounds. Look how it just contrasts the wall. You know, I could use this to, you know, basically simulate like a fake fireplace or something like that. Or if you're making videos and stuff, you know, stand, you know, behind it, or have this, you know, casted behind you and you stand in front of it. You know, this would really give off a cool effect. This is like a galaxy. Look at that. But overall, the contrast of this projector is really, really good, as you can see with my demonstration here. It just does a really good job of, you know, contrasting the colors and does a really good job of presenting those colors really vividly. But I think we kind of get the point with the video, so let's actually exit out of this. And what we're going to do now is take a look at some pictures. And same thing with the pictures. A lot of these pictures are stuff that I normally you know, use in all my projector tests. And the reason why I keep all of these pictures the same is so that when I go back and, you know, watch some of the older videos, I can kind of compare and contrast. And then also keep in mind too, with the camera that I'm using, you know, it might not capture the quality that I'm seeing. So, but what I see, it looks really good. It's doing a really good job of contrasting the background from the subject. You know, this is like a city skyline. I'm not sure what city this is. I'm guessing New York. I'm pretty sure that's New York City as well. But you can see it just does a really good job. And then same thing, you also have the settings menu. You can go in here, you know, skip forward, go to the next one, randomize, pause it. This is actually our YouTube channel. This is a 4K image, so this is actually really impressive because, you know, this projector supports 4K content, but its native resolution is 1080p. So you are able to, you know, play high quality mediums or visuals through this projector, and it's good to see that because, you know, with this picture, I know it's a 4K image. In fact, I can show you guys. You can see the resolution is 7,680 times 4,320. So that's a 4K. And that actually might be 8K resolution, actually, now that I think about it. So this is a very high quality picture, and it's able to be casted onto this projector. But yeah, I think we kind of get the point with the images. So now let's listen to the audio of this projector, because I'm actually curious to see what the sound output is. So we're gonna go into music. Let's play this song right here, Four Seasons. And what I'm going to do is bring the microphone closer to the projector. But you can see the quality is actually pretty loud, but I think you guys kind of get the point with the music. So I am only going to test out USB with this projector, but do keep in mind, as for the sources you have, like I mentioned, you have a lot of different sources. You got USB, you got HDMI 1, HDMI 2, AV, and TF. So you can actually connect this to, like, you know, your gaming consoles or, you know, your laptops, if you want to basically get those projected to a large screen. But now we're going to shift our focus onto the other menu that I mentioned, and that's the TV stick menu. And you can see with the TV stick, you are opened to a lot of possibilities. Let's go onto YouTube and just, you know, test out maybe a quick video from our channel, just so we can see the quality of the video. Okay, so I typed up CrewElite, and you can see this is our YouTube page, and you can see there's a bunch of videos here that I have posted recently. Let's just take a look at, you know, one of these more recent videos that we've made. Let's take a look at this right here, the Andriod PAL station, and we're going to see the quality. Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new Tech Reviews and Gadgets episode, where today we're taking a look at a 1000 watt portable PAL station with 100 watt solar panels. And you guys are currently watching CrewElite. Okay, very nice quality. Look at that. You know, it sounds really good. The overall picture quality is amazing. I can read the text really nicely. No, this projector is doing a fantastic job. So we're taking a look at the Andriod S1000, and this is actually a 1000 watt portable PAL station. And the amount of power that you can store within this PAL station is just impressive. There's actually a maximum capacity of 324,000 milliamps of power that you can store within this PAL station. All right, I think we kind of get the point. And most of my videos are actually shot in 4K, so the fact that it's able to present it in that quality is amazing. But as you saw with my test and demonstration, you know, this projector is highly capable. You have a lot of different things you can actually do with it, like I mentioned multiple times in this video. There's actually one thing I forgot to showcase, which is the Google Assistant integration on the remote control itself. So if I click on this button that's on the top of the remote, you will see this is Google Assistant. And with that, you know, I can, you know, look up things a lot more quickly. Like you can see, it just shows me a bunch of YouTube videos that are related to Google Assistant. So if you wanted to, you can use the built-in microphone in the remote control to quickly look up, you know, different forms of media that you're looking for through this projector. But overall, I'm really impressed with the quality. There is a few things I do want to mention. I don't know if you guys can see, but in the corners especially, it seems like the image is not as sharp as the center. That's the only biggest caveat that I see with this projector. You know, even when I try to adjust the focus, because right now I have it focused pretty well, you know, I still can't get the corners to be in focus. But besides that, you know, this projector did a fantastic job. You know, it's still focused enough that I can actually view the content and read the text, but it is a little bit unfocused, especially in the corners. Besides that, we are going to wrap up this test and move on to the final opinions and remarks and end off this video. So, one of my final opinions and remarks about this XGODY Sail 1 digital projector. Well, as you guys saw with my test, I am blown away with the features. You know, what really sells this projector is that Google integration. You know, having that Android operating system built in to that TV stick that's hidden in that back compartment is just fantastic. It really adds a new level of different possibilities that you can do with this projector. And let me power this off. Because with, you know, with Android, you know, you have a lot of options. You know, like for instance, I could cast devices to this projector through that TV stick, which is really neat. You know, you could go on essentially anything that's offered on the Google Play Store. You can download it. So that means you could even play games with this projector. And what's neat about this projector is, you know, everything's already pre-packaged. Everything's built in. Even the TV stick itself. It's not something I have to take and then plug into the side. You know, it's hidden. Like, Most people are going to look at this projector and not even notice that an Android stick is even built into it. So that's what I like about it, because, you know, I could easily take this on the go. I do wish that it did came with some sort of bag or some sort of screen, but, you know, you could get a bag, you know, put this projector into it, put your different accessories, and then just take it on the go easily. Or you can use that box that they supplied, because the box does have a nice handle that you can use to take on the go. But that's what really sells me on this projector, you know, that built-in Android TV operating system that you can utilize to install apps, go on YouTube, essentially do a whole lot with this projector. But that is going to conclude our video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tech reviews and gadgets episode, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and also turn on post notifications on to get updates and alerts when we do upload. Have any questions or concerns, leave a comment. Enjoy the video, leave a like, and also share this video to anybody who may be interested in a digital projector. Product information, specifications, and details will be listed down below in the video description, alongside with the link to make a purchase if you're interested in buying this projector. Thank you all for tuning in to this new edition of Tech Reviews, Gadgets, and More. I had a blast making this video, and I hope to see you all on the next episode. CrewElite signing off. Thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your day.